GetLoveDreamingBeach.com.
It's 1:50 a.m. March 7th, Friday. I wanted to talk for a second about Karen Reed. Let me see over here. I have this other clock. I can zoom in. It's a little chillier in the closet closer to the window. There's my little bunny light. My little bunny light. And my third rainbow light clock. I have 3. Hope I took a little pause for a moment. Lighting an incense. I don't want to get bad. I just turned on the light, but it was insanely way too bright. And it's 2:33 a.m. now. I really just wanted to say that even though I believe that Karen Reed did hit John O'Keefe with her car, I don't know. I'm starting to feel like at this point, they're not going to be able to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt because there was way too much corruption. Peter Trego's lawyer, I guess, basically convinced me, which is kind of the job of a good defense lawyer, right? He made a case that Judge Cannone is actually biased. And I had believed for a long time that despite so many people thinking she was biased, you know what? No, she's not biased. I mean, yeah, she sighs deeply, and at one point I had thought, ooh, that's not any good. Somebody had said, she responds differently to objections from the defense than the prosecution or the Commonwealth. And I kind of tried to track it a little bit, and I was like, no, I don't agree. Let's see if this... Ooh! Scared the crap out of me. Smack that ass. But you know what? At this point, I am starting to think she is biased, and the video that Peter Tragos had put out, I guess last night, since it's now Friday, 2:35 a.m., it was Thursday, and he said that the way she ordered this one defense, like dog bite expert versus Dr. Russell, who was way more qualified, it was so clearly biased. And he said, this is apples to apples. This is comparing 2 exactly same kind of experts, and you can see how absolutely biased she is. And I also noticed that the way she reacted to the undisclosed payment to the ARCA witness, and that was a big deal, but was like, where was her energy? Where's the same energy? Where's the grave danger, the grave concern of what Trooper Proctor did with those videos? And all the stuff he said in those text messages, and the leaky balloon nut, and all this stuff. Like, where's the grave concern for that? So she does seem now more and more and more. I can't ignore all of the signs that she is biased. I do think she's biased, and I think that the Commonwealth has a bad case, and I think that I think that she's gonna, I don't think Karen is gonna go to jail for this. Honestly, I feel like she did do it. But the hatred, and I also feel like she's a bad person. Like, I don't know why so many people are so pro Karen Reed, because when you listen to her speak, and you listen to her texts, and you listen to how she behaved, and when you listen to all the things that she did, to me, it all equals you're a bad and guilty person. And that's kind of why I thought maybe that's why they behaved that way, because they knew she was a terrible person, and it was just like, oh my God, you're a terrible person and you killed our friend. Like, wouldn't you hate somebody who you knew they were a terrible person? You knew they were a terrible person, and then you knew that they killed your friend. Wouldn't you fucking hate them too? But if every single thing about the investigation was shoddy and questionable and doubtful and weird and Brady violations up the fucking wazoo, that's what I'm saying. Like, Judge Cannone had all the heat, all the grave concern for the defense, but everything's fine, peachy keen on the Commonwealth side when it's so clearly not, and that's the bias. Like, okay, so the defense can't take one tiny misstep without it being a grave concern, but I mean, that's an exaggeration, but that's what it feels like. And then the Commonwealth can literally fuck up and Brady violation thousands of documents and videos and all this stuff, and it's like, it's fine. And they have witnesses that have nowhere near as much, I mean, what was that fucking Trooper Paul? Like, I don't know. At this point, I feel like they need to let this go. I don't know. Even I'm at the point where I still believe that she hit this man, but I don't think that they can convict her with what they've got. I just don't. Alright, it's fucking late. This is very weird lighting. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Please subscribe. I would love it. I know like 90% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. It would help my channel so much if I could get a bit, if 50% of you who are watching would just click subscribe for free. That could help my channel. The more people who subscribe and the more people who share and who engage, comment, write a comment, drop an emoji, say something funny, give your opinion, ask a question. Just say thanks, or, enjoyed your video, or what you think. Do you think Karen Reed is guilty? Do you think Karen Reed hit him and knew it, and that's why she was running around like a motherfucking weirdo and a crazy ass at 4 something in the morning saying, I hit him? I don't believe in any way that whole nonsense about all those people in the house did anything to him. But I do believe that the solo cups and the blood on the ground and the no body cams, no fucking bodies taking good notes, no, not like, if you can't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, then you gotta drop the charges. That's my opinion. Sometimes it's unfair that the person who did it gets away with it, but if you're gonna be a fucking total fuck up, what do you expect? You can't do jack shit and put people in jail for that. see any other way for him to have ended up there other than that she hit him with her car, her SUV. However, the fact that there was so much questionable evidence and handed over, withheld evidence, and then why was the video inverted, and then why was there, oh gosh, like Judge Cannone said, why did it come in dribs and drabs? So do I think that ultimately, I do think that there, the fact that at the very end of the first trial and she was like, mistrial, it was kind of quick all of a sudden. And, she didn't, I felt like the lawyers could have said, well, so-and-so, such and such, do a poll of whatever, and I think that I think the defense wanted a mistrial. And they literally claimed it as a win. And then only later, when supposedly somebody who knew somebody who heard somebody who knew somebody said, well, that's not what they said. But I'm like, no, that's just not right. And then people were like, oh, Judge Cannone, she wasn't clear. And she said, you have to be unanimous on everything before you do your verdict. And, oh, God. I gotta go to bed. Almost 3 o'clock in the morning. And, they said that the jury verdict form was confusing, even though Alan Jackson had asked for it to be changed. And it did get changed. And a lot of people think she should recuse herself. I personally feel like she should. I feel like, you know what? Bow out. Be like, why don't you let somebody else judge over this? Let another judge preside over this case. Let them get some fresh eyes. Let's get some fresh attitude up in this bitch. Let's just, sometimes it's okay to step away. I feel like there's just too much animosity built up. Ooh. My shit over here. Too much built up animosity, a judge is supposed to be neutral and they're supposed to be unbiased. However, I feel like it's not always possible, I feel that the judge does believe that Karen Reed is guilty. And I think that that's clear. I think that she thinks that Alan Jackson and Yannetti and all of, she seems to have some respect for Miss Little, who I can't stand, actually. Or I don't know if she has respect for her or she just has so much disdain for Alan Jackson that she's like, well, I'm going to just fucking talk to Elizabeth. But, I think that if she were honest with herself, and maybe, of course, I don't know what she really thinks or believes, I'm assuming. But based on the evidence before me, even I, who thought for a long time, no, she's fair. I don't like her style, really. I certainly don't like the whole, don't say the basis of your objection for your objection bullshit, because it's so, I don't know, it just seems weird. And that's one of the things that people thought that was bias, and that she was being biased, where they don't have to state the reason for the objection. They're not supposed to state the reason for the objection. And then she gets to arbitrarily decide whether they just say objection. She gets to decide which reason to apply, if or not. And we don't know it's just not clear. And then some people were saying, you know, when it was the objection from the defense, the way she would respond was like, I don't know, like, you could have that, or she would ask a question. She would ask the witness a question to clarify, which is very weird because it's like she's litigating. She's becoming the lawyer. So I do feel like, you know what? And with all those deep sighs and shit, like, okay, you don't want to be there. I mean, whatever. It's a long day. Of course she's going to deep sigh. Maybe she doesn't realize that the microphone is right in her deep sigh. But, I don't know. I do kind of feel like Karen and Reed would get a more fair trial with a fresh judge and Lally has been sitting there not saying anything, and there's that new guy Brennan, I think. But I don't know, I just kind of feel like this shit is dead in the water, and they are really, really trying to squeeze something out. But like the fucking batter, you shit in the batter. You left the blood in the fucking Solo cups and the snow in the batter. Now you're trying to like pull it out of this already baked cake. You're trying to chop up the baked cake and make it batter again, and like, ooh, I don't know. Just this shit, y'all need to give up. I don't know. I have a bad premonition. Like, what's the brother's name? Paul. The way he was looking at her one of the last times, I was like, ooh, he's gonna take justice in his own hands. Allegedly, speculation only. Making up a story, fiction. Me writing fiction. My fictional story. I'm gonna just plow her down, metaphorically, literally, like, jump, dunk, oh, sorry dog. Yeah, now. I'm not saying somebody should. You know. Now I'm using a double meaning. Alright, so you know what I mean? I don't know. Justice comes in multiple forms, I guess. But I mean, I do feel like, I mean, you know, you gotta think, Cannone is a judge. She's probably, yeah, you know, down with the blue. Those are cops. John O'Keefe was a cop. I don't know. I mean, if she really did hit him, she should pay in some way. But how? I'm not sure. See how it plays out. Okay, see you. Bye.
catlovestreamingpeach.com.
It's today, Friday, March 7th, and it's late. It's 10:41 p.m. 10:41 p.m. I should be going to sleep. So I just wanted to add, before I actually went ahead and posted the video, that I watched another video with Peter Tragos today, and he was talking about, I don't remember the name. It was like Bra or something. apparently, I think it's Turtle Boy's lawyer also wanted to be Karen's lawyer, and ultimately Judge Cannone decided no because there was too much conflict. And Peter was saying, do I think that this is a does he think that this is a biased decision? And he said no. He can actually see all the reasons why Judge Cannone would pick that or make that order. And he was saying today that, he doesn't think she is like completely 100% biased or corrupt. He said like Judge Gaines from the YSL trial, who ended up getting yeeted because he was corrupt. So we'll see. I mean, I still feel like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll have to see as trial unfolds. It's supposed to start April 1st, which is coming up soon. What I do hope is that, I think it's Brennan is the Commonwealth lawyer, attorney, and Lolly is there, but basically just silenced. And he was the one who, what if any'd his way through, what was it, like 8 fucking weeks of excruciating snow testimony, all to just kind of, I personally felt the arc of witnesses made a strong case that most likely she didn't hit him, and there was a very unlikely chance, but I made a video called, they said she could have nudged him, which I specifically and explicitly pointed out in that video how biased that was of them to word it that way. Like, what the fuck do you mean she could have nudged him? You mean she could have fucking hit him with her SUV, but you're saying it in this completely soft, like, sugar-coated, baby powder, fresh, soft cotton candy verbiage, like little cloud, puff clouds and fairies, and like, oh, she could have nudged him. Motherfucker, he was dead in the snow, frozen, with a cracked skull and cracked glass and cracked rear headlight or backlight plastic in his shirt sleeve, allegedly. So that's what they claimed. That's not a nudge. That motherfucker was killed by the... I believe that, yes, he was killed by that SUV, by Karen Reed. And I do not believe that he went into the party and that the friends beat him up and dragged him onto their own front lawn and left him there to die. I don't believe it. And went through all... Now, what I do think is possible is that Trooper Proctor despised Karen Reed so much, maybe rightfully or not. I mean, he was obviously a freaking absolute creep and an asshole. I do believe that the possibility that maybe he didn't think the evidence was strong enough to nail the coffin of her conviction, and so he was like sprinkle, sprinkle, Salt Bay, except, shattered rear view, light, motherfucker Bay. I don't know. From the Sally Port to the fucking... I don't know. I do think it's very weird that there was an inverted video, and video is not uncovered, and video is not handed over, and isn't that a Brady violation? Aren't they the Commonwealth? Aren't they supposed to be handing it over? Aren't you the prosecution? Aren't you supposed to give the defense everything possible? Isn't that a grounds for dismissal? I don't know. Like I said, I feel like I don't feel like she should get off or get away with it because somehow I feel like she's likable or like it was an accident or somehow it's excusable. I don't think that. I think that when you prosecute somebody for fucking murder, you need to have your I's dotted, your T's crossed, your Q's curled, and your P's peeing and all the things. And, like, if you fuck up, if you do a terrible job, if you're totally biased, if you're corrupt, if you're disgusting, texting gross stuff about her, you're not getting the evidence properly, you're not handing over the evidence properly, then I do think that you should not be allowed to prosecute somebody. Even if it seems like most likely, I think she probably most likely did it. Now, that is not enough to put somebody away for life or even for multiple years. So I went from thinking from the first trial, like, oh yeah, she probably most likely did it, but somehow the way she nudged him, the way it happened, it just like I said in that other video I made, is Karen Reed the luckiest or unluckiest woman in the world? Is she the luckiest woman in the world? The luckiest person in the world because she actually killed that motherfucker, but the way it happened was so 1 in a million that she's gonna get off on she's gonna get away with murder because his wounds didn't look like he got hit and there's not enough evidence to prove it? Or is she the unluckiest woman in the world and she didn't hit him, but somehow he just tragically died in the spot where she dropped him off? And she's going to get framed for a murder she didn't commit, Is the judge really biased? I mean, at this point, what I can say, which I think I did say earlier, is that I do think that the judge thinks she's guilty, which means, yes, she's biased because she's already made up her mind. I feel like the first trial, she was there. She saw everything. I think she's like, this bitch did it. I think her bias towards Dr. Russell is because she thinks Dr. Russell is full of shit and she doesn't think that those are fucking dog bites or whatever. Or like I said, even if they are dog bites, that doesn't prove anything except for that man was laying outside probably, which is what we already know. Those dog bites or dog scratches or other animal scratches, or who knows, maybe they were scratches from the vehicle, like those undeterminate scratches on his arm which did not kill him. Dr. Russell wants to say it was a dog. And I feel like even if you could establish that it was a dog, that still doesn't prove anything. What does it prove? Does it prove that somebody was walking their dog and the dog saw him laying there and he was scratching at him to see what was it, and what was it? And, the owner's like, come back here. Maybe they had him off the leash. Or maybe it was Chloe or, the Albert's dog. Or maybe it was scratches from the SUV. Or maybe it was scratches from some ice on the ground when he slipped, like when he fell, when he got thrown. Who knows? Like, I feel like whether or not those are dog scratches does not tell us anything about whether Karen Reed hit him with her SUV or not. And I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever really truly know the truth. And, I feel like she will go to jail, but